Good afternoon and welcome to Live at 5 on WBON Channel 9, where every local story starts here. I'm Gwendolyn Morton. Well, a school bus crash in Wolfe County leads to the investigation, and a car chase in Jessamine County leaves one business with damages. We've got all the details on that later in the newscast, but first in our WBON TV Channel 9 lead story of the day. A former Jessamine County Animal Care and Control Director is now facing felony charges after allegedly taking thousands of dollars in donations that were intended for shelters to care for and adopt out animals there. Timothy Brown, 35 years old, was indicted in November on a count of abuse of public trust and fired. County officials say Brown is accused of stealing around $20,000 in cash in the past year, money that was brought in from adoption drives, donations, and other cash that was coming into the shelter. New safeguards have been put in place since to ensure that all money coming up into the shelter goes where it's supposed to go, and signs are now posted at the shelter informing people that cash is no longer an accepted form of payment. Well, a Head Start bus accident took place this morning in Wolfe County near Landsaw Road. Chris Holliday, the director of Middle Kentucky Head Start, told us at WBON that the exact cause of the accident is still unknown, but no other vehicles were involved in that crash. 9 students were present on the bus when the accident occurred, but none reported having any major injuries, and all of them were transported home from the accident by parents. Holliday explained that even police are not sure of the cause yet, but it could range from slick roads to overcorrection. This is a continuing investigation. We will report more details as they become available. Well, a Jessamine County woman is facing charges after leading officers on a chase Wednesday night. 44-year-old Rebecca McWilliams was heading north on US 27 when officers tried to initiate a traffic stop. According to authorities, the chase terminated when the suspect exited the car with it still moving. The vehicle continued rolling before crashing into a business on Park Central, causing significant damage. McWilliams was taken into custody after failing a sobriety test. McWilliams was arrested on several charges, including fleeing or evading police, leaving the scene of an accident, criminal mischief, and operating a motor vehicle under the influence of a controlled substance. Well, Berea Mayor Bruce Fraley re-elected George Wyatt and Charles Conley to the Madison County Airport Board on Tuesday. Additionally, Steve Tussey was selected to stay on as vice chair, and Adrian Millett was again selected to be secretary. Wyatt was elected as the board chair and Connolly was selected as treasurer. At their meeting, members discussed final details for the $1.2 million infrastructure upgrade project for the airport. They seek over $1 million grant from the Appalachian Regional Commission to extend a water line to the airport and a main sewer line. The water line is expected to connect the Madison County Southern Water District, and the sewer lines are expected to connect with Berea Municipal Utilities. All plans were approved by the Kentucky Division of Water. The sewer attachment and water lines should make way for further expansions of the airport in the future and give it the ability to be used as infrastructural space for EKU's aviation program. It should also provide lower insurance rates and help with fire suppression. Well, following Attorney Daniel Cameron's entrance into the race for governor, former United Nations Ambassador Kelly Craft and Agricultural Commissioner Ryan Quarles have also officially entered the race for the governor of Kentucky. Craft explained on her website that her goals as governor include repairing connections that may have been lost between people and their leadership and giving Kentucky back their core of honesty and compassion. Quarles also released a press release and a video explaining that he plans to protect hardworking Kentuckians and protect Kentucky's economy. Both Craft and Quarles are joining Attorney General Cameron and Somerset Mayor Alan Keck in the GOP race against Democratic Governor Andy Beshear. Well, yesterday, the Nicholasville Police Department seized 61 grams of cocaine and over $15,000 as a result of a routine traffic stop. The Nicholasville Police Department Drug Enforcement Unit, in collaboration with the Jessamine County Sheriff's Office K-9 Unit, conducted an interdiction operation, which included an operating traffic stop. The traffic stop gave the department reason for a search warrant at a residence on Williams Road, where they found and seized 61 grams of cocaine and $15,710 in cash. A man by the name of Walter Owens was placed under arrest for trafficking in controlled substances in the first degree. Well, Governor Andy Beshear addressed Kentuckians last night in his State of the Commonwealth. Governor Beshear says the Commonwealth is strong and has a bright future, with the year 2023 offering a chance to parlay 2 incredible years of historic achievement into decades of enduring prosperity. Beshear acknowledged both the enormous success Kentucky had experienced, including the best 2-year period for economic development and job creation, record high budget surpluses, and the longest stretch of the lowest unemployment rate in the state's history. He also addressed the challenges posed by the pandemic, natural disasters throughout the state, and rebuilding communities. Governor Beshear discussed the administration's progress on several large-scale infrastructure projects, including getting enough federal grant money to construct the Brent Spence Companion Bridge without tolls, improving public safety and our workforce, and increasing access to health care. This was Beshear's 4th State of the Commonwealth address. Earlier this week, Secretary of State Michael Adams provided the following testimony to the House Elections, Constitutional Amendments, and Intergovernmental Affairs Committee, offering a plan to increase the number of voting locations and improve the recount process. Adams stated during his speech that he does not wish to make large changes in the current voting system in place in the Commonwealth, as this would both be costly and potentially confuse already active voters familiar with the systems as they currently operate. Adams claimed during his speech that he attempted to procure more voting locations during the past year's election and was met with mixed results. Adams proposed multiple solutions to help increase efficiency of voting in the next election. Some of these proposed solutions include consolidating voting locations, incentivizing counties to open more voting locations, and then apply for funding of that purpose, among others. Adams also proposed certain changes to improve early voting and the recounting process post-election. The judge concluded his speech by saying that he felt that none of the changes would be drastic, but that they were all important to the state of Kentucky. With that, we're going to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. We've got Todd Nelson in the Weather Center. We've got Michael Watkins in the Sports Center. And of course, more news right here, live at 5.
At Fast Flow Plumbing, you aren't sending your money to Texas and Florida to the big corporate plumbing companies. We're local, and that allows us to invest in the latest technologies like Permaliner for no-dig sewer replacements, which we warranty for 20 years. Fast Flow is the future of plumbing. Don't destroy your landscaping and finished basement because a plumber tells you he has to replace your sewer. Keep your home beautiful. Call a local pro at Fast Flow.
If you've dreamed of a job where you can help keep your family and community safe while planning for the future, then you need to check out the Fayette County Detention Center.
We're starting out $20 an hour. We have 8 paid holidays, 120 hours of sick time and vacation time a year. When you work a holiday, you actually make double pay. Our retirement is at 25 years. If you start out at 21, you'll be fully retired at 46, 25, fully retired at 50. Fayette County Detention Center is an amazing place to work.
Hi there, I'm Alan Feldhouse Jr., head basketball coach at Madison Central High School. Here at MCHS, we have built a winning team. I'd like to tell you about another local winning team, family-owned and operated Bluegrass Restoration and Construction. They specialize in roofing, general construction, and home maintenance services. Just like on the court, you need a team that will work together to get the job done, and that's exactly what BRC does. Give them a call at 859-353-1133. Row Tribe.
The City of Richmond Stormwater Management Program works to protect our waterways from pollution and to help citizens with stormwater runoff and flooding. Stormwater is the rain and snow that runs off rooftops, roads, sidewalks, and other surfaces that cannot absorb water, which affects water quality. The City of Richmond Stormwater Management Program is dedicated to helping its citizens understand what stormwater is and its impacts on our watersheds and waterways. For more info, visit buildrichmondky.com and click on the Stormwater tab.
Davis & Powell Funeral Home in Berea. From our attention to detail, a diverse staff, and the best aftercare in the business, there's no better local choice to take care of your family in a difficult time than Davis & Powell. Call in to discuss pre-planning and preparations so there'll be no additional burden on your family. Davis & Powell Funeral Home in Berea. For additional information, check them out at davisandpowellfuneralhome.com. Davis & Powell Funeral Home, always going the extra mile.
Man Chrysler in Richmond is Truck Town, USA. New trucks, used trucks, little trucks, big trucks, short trucks, long trucks. Hey, that's not a truck. Work trucks and fancy trucks. Who says you can't get a truck? Come on down to Man Chrysler Dodge Jeep in Richmond for your best deal today. Truck Town, USA.
Welcome back to Live at 5. A little cooler today, a little frost on my car when I got out this morning. I'm hoping that's just a temporary thing. We've got Todd Nelson in the Weather Center to let us know what to expect for the rest of the week.
Thanks, Gwendolyn, and welcome back to the Bluegrass Restoration and Construction Weather Center. Wanted to start you off with the drought update, and for the most part, any drought that was in place over the Commonwealth has been pretty much wiped out. We are seeing some moderate drought north and west of the Ohio River. Of course, it has been a very wet start to the year thus far. London seeing nearly 8/10 of an inch, but just north of Lexington, more than 3.5 inches. Louisville also more than 2.5 inches, but a strip right along the northern and western portion of the Commonwealth that picked up anywhere from 2 to 4+ inches of rain earlier this week, along with some of those stronger thunderstorms. All right, 8 to 14 day precipitation outlook looking a little bit more active over the Ohio Valley and close to home. That'll be from January 13th to the 19th, and we may also see a little bit of an uptick in the temperatures during that time frame. But tonight, maybe a sprinkle or a flurry, nothing major. Better chance of rain as we head into this upcoming weekend. As I mentioned, a little warmer as we head into January. Tomorrow, 43, that's close to average. Heading into the weekend, Saturday to Sunday, a little rain or snow potential. Better chance of rain, though, during the day, and maybe upwards of 1/4 to 1/2 inch of total liquid this upcoming weekend. Tonight, again, the clouds will be filling in as the wraparound from the storm system works in. It doesn't look like we'll have much in terms of the precipitation, but again, if you're out and about tonight, early tomorrow morning, if you see a sprinkle or a flurry, don't be surprised. Temperatures tomorrow morning will be around that freezing mark, so a bit chilly as we start off our last day of this first full week of January. Westerly winds up to 15 miles per hour. This is what you'll want to dress for during the day tomorrow. 20s in the morning, mid to upper 30s in the afternoon, though our temperature will be warming up into the low and mid 40s. Again, a little bit of rain into this upcoming weekend, and then we do warm up a little more, Gwendolyn, mid-month.
Thanks, Todd. And for weather all the time, you can find it on Channel 9 online. Check out our Facebook page and WBONTV.com. Well, today we have a new segment. Today's topic is football related. So with more, here's Dawson Rule.
Welcome to Dawson's Opinion, the greatest show ever. Well, not really. That's just my opinion, even if it is wrong. But that's what this new segment's going to be all about. Laying out points and opinions of life events and what's going on around you, and giving you my opinion on it. I'll avoid politics and divisive stuff, but besides that, anything's fair game. So, today's topic is going to be about what the NFL and other football leagues should do about player safety. This has been an ongoing concern with concussions and injuries being a part of the game, but during the Bengals versus the Bills Monday Night Football game, potentially the worst football injury of all time occurred. Bills safely, DeMar Hamlin tackled Bengals wide receiver T. Higgins hard and stood up and immediately fell. Now the details behind his injury are still muddy, but we know he suffered cardiac arrest and had to be revived on the football field. Thankfully now he is responsive, but the scary part is knowing he basically died on that field was thankfully saved by both teams' awesome medical training staffs. The hit was hard but didn't look anything out of the ordinary for a football tackle. This just goes to show how violent the game can be, and with concussion protocols and player safety at an all-time high for football, it may be time for the game, including the NFL, to find ways to make the game safer for everyone. In my opinion, the game doesn't need rules to change the way football is played, but rather better pads, protection of all body areas and extremities, and whatever it can take to make the bodies of players safer while still preserving that violent side of the game, which football does need. Don't give players options. Make them wear neck guards, mouthpieces, whatever it takes. That extra gear, they're going to need it. Now, the development of new gear may be essential in helping the game become safer for all players, from Pee Wee to the NFL. Sports scientists could come up with full-body movable protective covers for players to wear underneath their pads they already have, which I think wouldn't hinder the play at all. Now, another option we have to weigh is concussions, which the NFL is already closely monitoring. With CTE on the rise, research on how concussions are related to this still need more research. For example, Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa has suffered 2 concussions already, but most fans, including myself, think he's had 3. With this many head injuries in one season of a young quarterback's career, the concussions are starting to become a concern for the future health of Tua. CTE is caused by repetitive blows to the head sustained for years, which is football pretty much. So should helmets be worn with protective caps? While Guardian caps are worn during football practices from top to bottom, football helmets are cool because of their hard design and cool logos. So should we sacrifice this for more head protection? In my opinion, nope. But the inside of a football helmet could be modified, including making players wear a new and unique padded cap around their head to put their helmet over. Now, the science behind the game does need to keep advancing to make player safety a high priority. This is something almost everyone agrees on, but the question does come in, how could it be done? The game of football will always have injuries, but minimizing them and their severity is key for the future of football and the health of players now and in the future. Prayers for Hamlin and his family during his recovery. Hopefully some of these features can keep players more protected in the future as we make the game of football safer as a whole. That is Dawson's opinion.
Thanks, Dawson, for that story. We're going to take another quick break. We've got Michael Watkins. He's in he's in the Sports Center. He's got more news coming up right after this.
Choose Mercy Health, Markham and Wallace Hospital for your health care. Consider having your preventative care such as a CT lung screening, a mammogram, or a colonoscopy at Markham and Wallace Hospital. You can feel safe to come to the hospital campus. Following CDC guidelines, our care team is doing everything possible to ensure your safety and well-being. For more information about Markham and Wallace Hospital, call 606-723-2115 or visit mercy.com.
Batteries Unlimited in Richmond can energize you when your batteries fade out. They can also cut and make most home and automobile keys, replace and program key fobs, and make copies of your house keys. Plus, cell phone screen repair. Bring in your Apple or Samsung today. We are your home for all batteries. Go see Chris at Batteries Unlimited, Commercial Drive in Richmond.
Granite, marble, and quartz for any surface. Make a lifetime commitment you won't regret.
I'm Michelle. And I'm Jennifer, and in the spring of 1992, Bishop's Small Engine Repair was born in our mom and dad's barn in Estill County.
Then in the fall of 1992, we made the move to Madison County, where we are today. With the support of our family, customers, and community, we have continued to grow in the outdoor power industry. With a full line of products from Cub Cadet, Grasshopper, Echo, and Shindawa, we can help you tackle your yard so you can enjoy it with your family. Bishop's Small Engine Repair, where our focus is our customer. Stop on in, 119 North Estill Avenue in Richmond. We can't wait to see ya.
If you love local sports, you'll love the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show. Join your hosts Samantha Burford and Michael Watkins as they break down, recap, and preview sports news in our area. Each Monday night from 6 to 7 on WBON TV Channel 9 and on on Y92.5, V99.3, and CBS Sports Radio 103.5. The Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show is also brought to you by the Richmond Raceway, Bluegrass Restoration and Construction, the Law Office of Patrick O'Neill, Nuevo Vallarta, and Bishop's Small Engine Repair.
Chenault Vineyards has become a premier destination in Richmond for family and friends looking for fun and entertainment. The vineyard sits on 500 acres with breathtaking views and several different things for you to enjoy while you're there. Live music, tastings, tours, a walking trail, or maybe you'd like to host your own event at the vineyard. Visit ChenaultVineyards.com to check out the complete list of upcoming events. Like them on Facebook to stay informed, or like Chenault Vineyards on Instagram.
Welcome back to Live at 5. EKU men's hoop face another big road challenge tonight on the road against Central Arkansas. With a preview of that matchup and the WBON TV Game of the Week, here's Michael Watkins with our Thursday Sports Update.
That's right, Grin. EKU's two-game ASUN Conference road trip continues tonight when the Colonels play at Central Arkansas. That game is set to tip at 8 p.m. and as always will air on ESPN Plus and locally can be found on our media partner 100.7 The Coyote, with the pregame coverage beginning at 7:30 with the longtime voice of the Colonels, Greg Stottlemyre. Central Arkansas is 2-0 all-time against the Colonels with a pair of 7-point victories last year in the first two ever meetings. In the last meeting between the two teams, Michael Moreno hit on 7 of 14 from the field, including 3 of 6 from deep, to finish with 19 points. He also had 7 rebounds and 3 steals in that game, while Devontae Blanton finished with 15 points and 7 boards in the loss for the Colonels. Blanton and Moreno are both still key contributors for EKU this year as the top 2 scorers for the Colonels. Blanton comes in averaging 15.8 points and 6 rebounds per night, while Moreno comes in averaging 13.1 points and 6.3 rebounds. For the Bears, Cameron Hunter tops the scoring column with 16 points per game. Eastern Kentucky fell to 8-7 overall and 1-1 in ASUN play after a 79-75 loss at Kennesaw State on Monday. The Colonels cut a 13-point second-half deficit to 4 with 1:24 to go, but could not complete the comeback. Central Arkansas is 5-10 this season and 0-2 in ASUN games. The Bears have lost 6 straight since beating Arkansas State back at home on December the 6th, 72-67. As for the high school action here in the area, tonight Tom Gross will join me live as Berea host Wellspring Guardians, the homeschool team from here in Richmond. The Pirates are 5-10 this year, but 3-3 in their last 6 games dating back to December 21st. Coach Eric Fields' team is young, but they have plenty of weapons that can hurt you, including sophomore point guard Cam Puckett, who comes into the game tonight averaging just under 18 points per game. Liam Brewer has shown the ability to produce big games as well, as he leads the team with 25 three-pointers made on the year and an average of 8.2 points per game. We'll be live tonight around 7:10 with pregame coverage, streaming only on the WBON TV Facebook page and YouTube channel. The Madison Central boys basketball team will be back in action tonight as well with a matchup against Montgomery County in a game that will begin at 7:30. And while we'll be live tonight at Berea, tomorrow night is another big game that will air on WBON. Model will host Madison Southern tomorrow, and we'll have a preview of that big district matchup and recaps of all the games tonight on tomorrow's newscast. For WBON TV Sports, I'm Michael Watkins Grin. We are looking forward to being back live with some good high school basketball action tonight. Let's send it back over to you.
That's right, Michael. Thanks. And I know many people who will be watching at home these next 2 nights excited to see us back out there as well. We're going to take another quick break. Don't go anywhere. More news here live at 5.
WBON TV 9 is proud to be your source for local news, local weather, and local sports. At WBON TV 9, we pride ourselves on being the local leader when something happens in our area. Channel 9 reaches nearly 900,000 people with our over-the-air coverage. WBON TV 9 is also the #1 source you turn to locally for news on Facebook and WBONTV.com. Now you can enjoy all the local news, weather, and sports each weekday afternoon. Join us each weekday from 5 to 5:30 for the Live at 5 newscast. It's streaming on the WBON TV Facebook page, YouTube channel, Roku channel, and our live player on WBONTV.com. And of course on Richmond's new and first TV channel, available on Channel 9.1 over the air, Spectrum Channel 712, and on Urban Community Television, PRTC Cable, and Crystal Broadband. WBON TV, where every local story starts here.
To some, it's just a boat. But to Jim, it's his escape from meetings, traffic, and the grind of daily life. He may not catch any keepers, but he wouldn't trade his day on the lake for anything in the world. That's why his boat is insured by Kentucky Farm Bureau. But it's not just Kentucky's Farm Bureau. It's Jim's Recharge the Battery Farm Bureau.
My Farm Bureau.
David Mayo, John Rader, and Chris Hornsby with Kentucky Farm Bureau.
Support local and get your vehicle running at its peak performance with CT Diesel Performance off exit 97 in Richmond. Chris Thorne and his staff specialize in diesel performance and repair, but will service any vehicle, big or small, with oil changes, brakes, tires, alignments, and more. Broke down and need a tow? Well, call CT Diesel at 859-699-8712. Like them on Facebook to enter a weekly drawing for a free oil change. CT Diesel Performance off exit 97 in Richmond.
It's the common thread that ties us together, making life better for everyone. At CVNB, that means better banking, better accounts and lending, better experiences, better schools and better communities. Better. It's what ties us together. CVNB. Bank better.
At WBON TV 9, you can count on our weather team to keep you up to date with all the latest developments, watches, and warnings.
We're here for you night and day, 24/7, no matter what the weather brings.
WBON TV 9 and our media partner 100.7 The Coyote are dedicated to you. That's why we say when the weather turns extraordinary, so does our coverage.
Get your forecast each weekday during the Live at 5 newscast on WBON TV 9, where every local story starts here.
Welcome back to Live at 5 on WBON Channel 9, where every local story starts here. We're bringing the classic music back this Saturday at the Richmond Area Arts Council. Bradley Burtner, a Lexington, Winchester-based singer-songwriter, will be performing alongside pianist Randy Westbrook. Burtner draws inspiration from artists such as Bob Dylan, Bruce Springsteen, and the Rolling Stones, and many other artists. He has written hundreds of songs and recorded several albums. So you can go on down Saturday to the Richmond Area Arts Council from 7 to 8:15 on West Water Street. Tickets are available at the door or online at www.artsinrichmond.org. And also, don't forget, tune in here Monday live at 5 for a recap of that concert. Looks like a really good time for the weekend. Well, a second lawsuit has been filed following the Magoffin County bus crash that took place in November of 2022. The bus, driven by Wanda Bailey, went over a steep embankment and landed on its side. The crash resulted in 19 people, Bailey and 18 students on board, being transported to the hospital with injuries ranging from mild to severe. The first lawsuit brought against the Magoffin County School District was filed by two mothers of students injured in the accident, claiming that the school system failed to enforce and provide sufficient safety measures for students. The second lawsuit was filed by Samantha Perkins on behalf of 3 students injured in the crash. The case is brought against Bailey, several members of the Magoffin County Board of Education, and FIDA Foods LLC. It alleges that Bailey worked a shift at a convenience store, Speedy Z's, owned by FIDA Foods LLC, the night before the crash until midnight or later. The case claims that FIDA Foods should have known that Bailey would be responsible responsible for transporting students at 6:15 the next morning. The contents include intelligence on behalf of all the defendants and punitive damages. Well, thanks so much for joining us here today live at 5. Got lots of sports coming up tonight. Make sure you tune in for that. We'll be right back here tomorrow. More news, more sports, more weather. Have a wonderful afternoon.